Something like that. Not quite, but pretty much.
They put in the act, no hesitation to release Act 2021 started with Antonio Brown. No hesitation to release. According to the No Hesitation to Release Act 2021, Antonio, you are now released.
Hey, my brain's freaking fried today. I cannot think at all.
It's cool, dude. Just get on here and we'll just chit chat, dude. It's pretty crazy how you and I are both wearing green. Like, I got this pretty sick Columbia sweatshirt from my brother-in-law and his wife. So shout out to them for getting me this nice crew neck.
Nice.
It keeps me nice and warm.
Nice. Swole City.
Swole City. Just so you guys know, we're on TikTok. I'm going to mention it again in the beginning so people can follow us on there. We're still on Instagram mostly. Roman is kind of taking a sabbatical from Instagram. So he'll be a little bit more active when it comes February, hopefully, maybe.
I'm going at one.
Yeah. And also too, like, you guys let Roman know in the comments below, or actually, tag his YouTube channel. Maybe he'll get the notification. But tell him how much work Antoine's putting into social media these days. I've been posting like every day, Roman, just so you know.
Really? Hell
yeah. I've been posting like almost every day on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok probably not as frequent. I've been doing like every other day, but Instagram pretty much like almost every day. So if you guys aren't checking it out by now, if you guys aren't tagging us, also too, Roman, since you're not on Instagram, I'll tell you this because I don't think I've told you this, but Strength by the Bar. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, follow him. That's a good friend of Roman and I's, Alex, our friend Alex. But he challenged the Gainz podcast, or AKA Antoine. And Roman, you're more than welcome to jump on this train, buddy. He challenged us the max reps for half your body weights in goblet squats.
I'll do that this week.
Yeah, so he got, I think, 10, and then I got 14. He was kind of upset at me. He was like, man, now you're making me want to re-record and stuff and all this stuff. So you know what? I'm surprised you guys. I'm probably
20.
Yeah, I bet you can. I could barely back squat like 185 these days. So like, I'm surprised like my legs could even hold like 100-pound dumbbells. But yeah, right now, speaking of weights, I'm down. I texted Roman this morning, down like 19.2 pounds, 197.8. Y'all ain't even ready for this. Yeah, I think I might stay here. I think after all this weight loss, I think I kind of want to stay here for a little bit. Like, obviously be a little bit more lenient when it comes to like eating. Yeah, I'm down from like 217 or 216, like the high 216s, I guess. I guess that's 19 pounds. Maybe, no, 217. Is that? 216. 216. Yeah, 197 plus 19 would be 216. Right? Anyways, so if you're listening and you don't follow us on Instagram, you don't follow us on TikTok, but you only listen to the podcast, please send us a video on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. We'll try to sponsor it and try to show you off. Like if you're a fitness channel trying to get in, just like us, like we're trying to make it just as much as you are. So if you want to help us support each other and do the challenge, it is half your body weight. So me, I'm 197. So I just say 200 pounds. I did a 100-pound dumbbell and do as many goblet squats as you possibly can. Just film it however you want. And then let us know. If you don't film it, just let us know anyways. We would love to kind of support each other and make this world a stronger place, as you might say. So that's a pretty good update, I guess. Roman, yeah. What are you weighing at these days?
172 this morning.
Dang. So you'd be what? Pretty much 85 or 90-pound dumbbells?
I'll do 85, yeah. What I'll do is one set I'll film, I'll do 85, and then the last set I'll do 100s for you.
Oh, by the way, when I texted a funny story real quick, because I didn't know, because Friday are my squat days, And I was like, yeah, I'll do goblet squats after I do back barbell squats and RDLs. I get done with my back squats. I texted Alex. I was like, you think I should have did the goblet squats before or after this? And he goes, dude, why are you doing them after? Like you're absolutely crazy. Like do them before. So after I did all the back squats, like sets, I did one set of RDLs, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll grab the 100-pound dumbbell. And so after like 4 to 5 sets on squats and then one set of RDLs with 205 on it, I grabbed the 100-pound dumbbell, did the set. So I might be able to do 20 this week, Roman, because I'm going to do it again Friday. But before like I back squat, I'm just going to do warm-ups like, 30-pound goblet, 50, 70, and then probably 100.
I don't know if I can do 20. That'll be my goal, but that's definitely a stretch. Because I was doing heel elevated with 60 like a month ago or so, and I got like 16 or 17 or something like that, but it was heel elevated, and I sat at the bottom. So I'll still go full ROM, of course, but I'll get a little bounce out of the hole, if you know what I mean.
I did wear my Ollie shoes. So, I mean, I wouldn't say don't put it past you to do heels elevated because, I mean, technically I was what, an inch and a half, 2 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, I don't know about you. Maybe you could. Maybe I'll send it to you directly since you're not on Instagram right now. I'll send it to maybe directly to you. The only problem I have is I can't do full ROM because of my arms. Like I'll get to a point where I'm at the lowest point where it's like my forearms are resting on my knees, and I'm trying not to do it as much because yeah.
That's as far as you can go.
Cool. Okay, I just don't want to be I don't want to be called out for anything. I told Alex that he might beat me, but he in the background I'm like, this guy has it coming. I'm just gonna whoop him. I do. There's like another challenge where people are trying to do like half body weight for 50 reps, and I told Alex, dude, after that set, I was like, I'm pretty sure I almost blacked out on like the 14th rep. So like, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could be able to get 50. I'll try to get to like maybe 20 or 25, and then like maybe call it from there, and just like maybe do goblet squats a little bit more because I haven't done goblet squats in forever.
It'd be like a rest pause set. You have to set it down for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Bang 4 more. Rest another 30 seconds. Bang out like another 3 or 4 more. You keep on.
Is it weird that after doing that set of 100 pounds, because I haven't done them that heavy in a while, that it felt better than back barbell squats? Like I'm like, man, I should do goblet squats more than back barbell squats for a while.
That's why I've moved away from a hypertrophy standpoint, and I think actually this could be like a really good like kind of segue. We're always told like you got to do barbell back squats if you want to grow legs. Got to do barbell back squats. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's decent. It's a decent recommendation, but like people's like biomechanics are so different. Not like so different where it's like you're a caterpillar. I'm a dog. I'm a canine. No,
I think more or less like I'm a caterpillar and you're like Snorlax.
There you go, Snorlax. Exactly. I am looking like Snorlax. Gainz. Man, I'll do things like heel elevated goblet squats. I'll just focus on leg extensions and the types of pumps I get from that. When I was at home for Christmas, I was doing sissy squats. And the type of like quad pump I was getting from that compared to doing barbell, like heavy barbell back squats, doesn't compare.
So you like sissy squats then, huh? I've been seeing a lot of people do them, like the guy from Super Training, can never pronounce his name, or I don't know.
Oh,
but what's up?
Ensema.
Yeah, Ensema. I met him in person too at the Arnold, and still don't even remember his name half the time. It's hilarious.
Really cool. That's really cool.
He's actually, remember I told you, he called me out. He said I should get smaller compression cuffs. He's like, looking at your arms, you should get this size. And I'm like, what are you trying to say? I'm small? And he didn't really like the joke that much, but whatever. But no, that sissy squats are cool. I mean, maybe I should start doing them because I've been trying, you know what, another focus of 2022, I would have to say is my left ankle mobility is just trash compared to my right. And I've been doing a lot of like overextended lunges where like I'm pushing my knee over my toe so much, and I'm trying to stretch that area out and trying to focus more on getting into the ranges of motions to help it perform further range of motions, if that makes sense. And the left side is just so jank compared to the right side.
Do you foam roll and stretch at the end of your sessions?
So I stretch, I don't foam roll.
Yeah.
Foam roll is most of the time like before the gym, like when I just have like if I'm on like a long meeting and I'm not talking, like I'll probably sit there and foam roll for like 5 minutes as I'm listening.
Yeah. Usually foam rolling and stretching, or I should say foam rolling or stretching, are about equivalent when it comes to increasing muscle plasticity, muscle and tendon plasticity. I guess ligament too. So like the ability for like your muscles, tendons, ligaments to like remember certain positions. They're not actually remembering, but like elasticity is just being able to get into a position, and plasticity is like being able to like get into a position over and over and over and over again. So they seem to have about like a similar effect. Like the few like research studies I've read, they always seem to show like very closely correlated. But the flip side is that in the studies where they have a group that does both stretching and foam rolling, you actually get a little bit of a synergistic effect. So it might be of like increased myofascial release compared with like stretching and holding certain positions. But I would do it at the end of your training. And at the beginning of the training, I would just do like mobility stuff just to warm up. Nothing crazy. You have to do it for 30, 45 minutes. But I like to go through mobility drills, like T-spine mobility stuff, opening up the back. You know, I'll do like the knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick or whatever. I'll like really kind of try to like force the knee forward, warm up like the quads, warm up the knees, warm up the calves a little bit.
Speaking of which, he was just on JRE, buddy.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, yep. I think the new episodes that just released today, it was Ben Patrick.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm not like religious about following him. He's probably one of like the fitness professionals that I follow. I wouldn't say the least, but I'm like very inconsistent. But like every time I see like one of his posts, it's always like I really love the way he like breaks things down, because he doesn't try to make it like overly complicated, which I like, you know, like that's why I really like RP, because they'll like try to give you like the scientific foundation. But what Knees Over Toes guy does is he says like I can't tell you why this is the case, but your knees have to travel over your toes when you're going downstairs. You know, he like just talks about simple things like that. So he's like, so if this is something that we all do on a daily basis, then we have to be prepared for that. Like that general preparedness and the rationalism behind just like how obvious some of the things are, I think are like very easy to kind of mistake in our everyday lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling Sam, to your point with about the mobility drills and like the stretching afterwards. It's so crazy to think that I used to train and like go to the gym and then like just start training. Now, like since I record like my workouts and my times, before like my first working set, it's like 10 minutes in, and then afterwards, like the cool down, it's like about 5 minutes. So it's crazy. It went from 0 minutes to now 15 minutes or over when it comes to like warming up and cooling down. Like it's like and maybe I didn't mention it with the full body stuff last week, but like as you're saying it now, it kind of makes me want to like throw it out there. That's why also another thing I like full body like workouts every time I go to the gym. That's like another benefit for me, because it helps me warm up like everything. So like I concentrate, like Roman was saying, like open up the quads, open up my back. Like I try to pay attention to all that stuff before I even like do my working sets. And like I might just do like leg extensions and like calf raises for the day, but I still go through those like movements just because like, you know, what I realize is like, man, this can, you know, maybe offset so much injury, like in my opinion. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to obviously be like Roman and I say, it's not going to be set in stone, like you're not going to get injured or you're going to get injured. But like, it makes me feel like injury is like further away than normal. I guess.
I just do it because it's like therapeutic. Like you get like the instant effect, like what Steffi Cohen talks about, like the analgesic effect. But also it's just kind of therapeutic to move.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day when I would do upper sessions, Sam and I were also talking about this yesterday. Because when we lived in Illinois in our own condo and we like would walk to the gym, like we would do an upper session, but we'd walk to the gym and then we'd do 5 minutes on the treadmill and then we'd start working out upper body. And like, doesn't you like, it's like, what you just, all you did was warm up your legs. I mean, you might warm up your body temperature. I guess that's one like positive thing obviously about it is like body temperature goes a long way. But like locally, you didn't really like put any blood towards like any of the muscles before like going in. But mind you, I do a lot of warm-up sets before my first working set, no matter what. So like on top of mobility drills in the beginning, like I'm doing like 2 to 5 sets before I do a working set. So it's like I couldn't. People probably hate working out with me because I feel like an old man, and they're like, dude, when I get in the gym, I'm start benching 185. I'm like, well, that's you, man, not me. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't recommend it. I think even like advanced lifters should start with the bar because you want to warm up like the back, you want to groove like the position, you need to like understand like the leg drive, you want to understand bracing and like practice some like reps with like your breathing mechanics. Like there's so much like to it. So yeah, I'd say if you currently do that, if you're like are deadlifting 3 plates and if you go in, you throw 3 plates on, you're missing out on so much, and you're like, it's probably nominal, like the increase in your injury risk, but it's probably enough where it's like, don't do that. It's kind of stupid. I would like highly recommend our listeners to like take a more protracted like view, and like even if you're in a rush, I get it, but still warm up, still go through. Like you don't have to walk on a treadmill, you don't have to do stair steppers. Sometimes I'll go straight to the bench and I'll just like do arm circles, and I'll make sure, okay, is my shoulder girdle? And it's not that there's anything special about that. Like some people don't like that movement, totally fine. But what I'm thinking about is like, am I warming up the shoulder joint? Am I warming up the like scapular mobility? Is like my scapula able to like effectively glide across my back? Are the rhomboids like functioning as I want them, need them to? Okay. Then I'll do things where I'm starting to warm up the lats. Like how tight are the lats from doing back the day before? So I'll do 1 arm, I'll do 2 arms. I'll go in and I'll do push-ups on the bench. I'll drop the floor. I'll do push-ups. I might do some like in and outs. Every single time is going to be different because I'm going to be sore in different areas. I want to like stretch out, test other areas. I might just do like breathing drills. I might just sit there and deep breath in, hold it, press out on my abdomen, wait, hold it, then breathe out nice and forcefully. I might do that like 5 times, for example. Then I'll get up, I'll set up, I'll test the arch, I'll press up on the arch, I'll pull the bar out forcefully, I'll put the bar out, I'll pull the bar out forcefully, I'll put it back, I'll pull it back forcefully, I'll pull it onto my chest, and I'll really like squeeze the lats as I'm ripping the bar into my chest, and I'll just explode it off my chest. Every time is different, but if you're not doing that, you're not practicing, you're not creating the type of like mental game where like these are all things that like I think seasoned lifters should do to go through. Like you need to test like your breathing mechanics. What if like you just had COVID and like you're coming back and you can't get as much air in you? Well, right off the bat, you know that you have to auto-regulate. You can't lift as much weight because you're not going to be as forceful. You're not going to be able to hold a Valsalva maneuver. You could like you could be like hypoxic at certain like states, so you could kind of like get like, you know, some of that like those black dots in your vision. You could faint, that kind of thing. So you don't want to do that, right? And how do you know if you can do that? Well, you're testing out certain things. You're testing out like, you know, how does the shoulder girdle feel? How do the hips feel when I'm getting into a squat? And if you're just loading up like whatever your working set is, then like you're not doing the due diligence, in my opinion.
Yeah, speaking of which, my sumo deadlifts are feeling nice, man.
Dang, that's awesome, buddy. See, isn't it so funny? Like it just takes a few weeks and then like you get the groove.
Yeah, I'm not going fast on them, but like yesterday I was doing sets of 5 with 315, which I probably could do a little heavier. Yeah. Also, a side note from your talking points just now, with COVID and everything, almost year 2, and no one's instead of trying to mandate, and Roman, you could bash me how you want or say you disagree or agree. But year 2, and the government's still not talking about health and fitness, and they're pushing vaccines and boosters. Where I just think I think the U.S. needs to push like health and fitness a lot better, and yeah, I just wish like I think Roman and I were talking about it. Roman and I were talking about it earlier, like the healthcare system and like how we spend so much money on healthcare, but like I feel like as a country we need to just get healthier. And I'm not bashing either side because I don't really care to be political, and I'm not going to give you guys my beliefs over podcast. But like I just think like we need for being year 2, I think we need to start thinking about those healthier choices.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, and I'm not saying it. I'm not saying anything's bad. I don't care if you're vaccinated, unvaccinated. I'm not saying any of that stuff because I don't want to be canceled off YouTube or anything. So.
I know. Since we mentioned the name of the flu, we're probably gonna get canceled now.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan's probably gonna get canceled soon anyway. So.
But no, I mean, if you're listening to this, and you might find or feel like you're in a similar place, like, but you're like you can still do stuff in the comfort of your home, that like will be good for you. So for example, like if you're like, yeah, I want to try and like do some exercise training, I want to like, start working out. If you feel like you can't do like push-ups from the floor, like that's totally fine. Work to like a high bench, work on like to the wall, and then just like progress it down. Like make a mark on a wall, take a piece of like painter's tape, whatever you need to do. But create a plan. Make sure, if you do something, do it a couple times, so if I'm going to do push-ups, I want to get good at push-ups. I want to develop some pushing strength. Because I hear that's good. That's a good thing for me to work on, and that's something that I'm confident that I can work on. So you go up to the wall and you do, let's say 10 reps on the wall. Okay, great. Mark where your hands were. The next time you do it, give yourself a couple of days to recover. Maybe one day in between. Do it again. If you did 2 sets last time, do 2 sets. See if you can go down an inch lower, and just keep on working that until you get to a high bench. Then do a high bench. And then you get down to the floor, okay? See how many reps you can do on the floor, and keep repeating that cycle until you get to a place where you want to be. Obviously, is working out going to get you to your weight loss goal? No, it's very hard to do that. You also have to incorporate some different dietary manipulations or dietary, you have to incorporate dietary habits. And if those are questions you have, we're more than happy to help you with guiding you through that process. It can be very tricky. There's a lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately. But we're more than happy to kind of provide the information that you're looking for, to the best of our abilities. Kind of point you in the right direction of people that we trust, people that we use to be able to get fit, try and stay as healthy as possible, all that fun stuff.
When you say manipulations, I think of my very great product, Twan's Detox Tea. So. It's crazy you say it because like this tea manipulates body fats like no other. I mean, that 19.2 pounds, I've been drinking literally that tea for what, 4 months now, 5 months, and holy cow, dude. Like I could drink beer on the weekends, I can eat KFC during the week, like holy cow, the way it manipulates body fat. Roman, I don't know if you haven't gotten on it, but like I said, I'll send you the link after this, okay?
Nobody's getting beer or have KFC. You just can't have as much.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a good talking point because we haven't really told you what like the title of this episode is, but episode 101, we're talking about like how like pretty much like the misleading information, also like I guess we could just say not everyone's a guru, could be the title, or not everything you hear is like 100% correct information. Like just the other day, I heard someone talk. I'm not gonna give names, but like they're giving out like the meal. They weren't really giving details out to what the meal is, but pretty much preaching like this has zero cholesterol in it, and it's stacked with protein. It's gonna help me recover, and it's all in this bowl. And like was like saying that it's gonna increase testosterone from this one meal, and like I'm not even giving probably the full like conversation piece on it, but I bet Roman right now is gonna be like, yeah, right, dude, no way. To all of it, because there's so much more context, and there's not. It's like so much like information where like I don't know. It's like kind of like that math rule, or was it science or math rule, where you can't say something's like 100%. It's like impossible. It's like I forgot that phenomenon, but like it's like saying like everything's 100% when it's clearly not.
Yeah, I'll give you another example. Dr. Tony Huge. I actually really like him. He's a really cool guy in the fitness space from like an entertainment perspective, but I take most of what he says with a grain of salt. And he was on the Mark Bell Power Project maybe like a year or two ago. I think it was like during like the pandemic, and he was saying like, oh, if I don't take this like regimen of drugs, like I can feel myself being catabolic. And probably what he meant is he gets hungry, so he wants to eat. His like his ghrelin and leptin signals are like essentially signaling you're hungry, eat. But not a single person can ever say that they're catabolic or anabolic if it's not ingest, because all at the same time, as long as you had recently ate a meal within the past like 5 hours, that you're going to be partly anabolic, partly catabolic, and that makes up your metabolism. And even if you're fasted, your body still has to be anabolic, meaning your body might have to go through processes such as like gluconeogenesis. So it's essentially taking different proteins and it's converting that into a carbohydrate like glycogen, for example, to be used for muscle cells for ATP production. Totally possible. And there's anabolic and there's catabolic processes which are involved in that. And that's happening all the time in our body, no matter what, whether we're in a fasted state, a non-fasted state, whether we just ate or we haven't ate for 12 hours. So for a person to say like, I can feel myself catabolic, what he probably meant is I was hungry and I just had, he like takes insulin. So if you take exogenous insulin, like if you don't eat, you can die. That's probably what he meant. But what he said was factually incorrect, because not a single person can determine the balance of your catabolism or anabolism at any one time. I don't even think that we have advanced, sophisticated enough technology to be able to determine that right now. Not yet. Maybe someday we could say, hey, net balance, like this is what your overall like muscle protein synthesis looks like. We do have things that look at that, but I don't believe we have different tools that can combine all the different processes in our bodies, because we're still learning about different processes. So
yeah, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about the thing I saw. It's like first off, you can't really say a meal is going to increase testosterone. A meal has zero cholesterol. Like, what does that mean? Like, we know cholesterol is good at a certain extent. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier. You can have KFC. Like, it's okay in a certain extent. It's like if I dumped a whole salt shaker before my workout in my tongue, people would be like, oh. I remember I would salt my water, and my people look at me and they're like, what, you're salt? But my doctor said no salt. Like it's like everything's like you kind of take everything with a grain of salt, no pun intended on that one. But like no one could say like something can grow something just like testosterone. Like it's like me, like I'm drinking this protein shake and it's filled. Oh, it's filled with like 30 grams of protein. Holy cow! You guys should see it, man. My testosterone raised up 30 milligrams per deciliter. Is that?
You'd just be like a freaking ball of muscle.
Yeah, seriously, like, but like, I don't think you could, because we talked a lot about it already today too. So it's like pretty cool that we're talking about like this topic, because most of it's pretty much led to this. But like even Roman and I, like, if you're listening right now or watching, like, most of the things we say, like, we might have a strong belief in, but we know it's not like 100% accurate, right? I mean, we can only tell you to a certain extent about some things, and then most of the time we want to be wrong too. Like it's that's why I would never post something like that, because I would never want to say like, I would never want to come back and be like, yeah, I don't want to listen to Antoine anymore because for some reason he thinks like a protein meal is going to increase my testosterone. So it's like something like that. Like if you heard like Roman and I say any facts or anything, we know that it might not be 100% right. We know most of them may be right on some things, but like we could be wrong. And yes, you should fight it. And yes, you should look at the research on the opposite side too for most of the things. Kind of like how you do in real life.
Yeah. And you might be somebody that doesn't want to like raise your natural testosterone, for example. You just want to like perform resistance exercise training, and yeah, there might be some fluctuations of hormones because of that, but you might just want to get stronger or like change your aesthetic a little bit, like add a little muscle or something along those lines. And I don't think that's something necessarily that you have to worry about, as long as your doctor says like your levels are in like normal or healthy ranges. And I would advocate that you get it checked once, at least once a year, like complete blood count, do like a blood, like a hormone panel, that kind of thing. But I think it would be important, Antoine, to talk to the listeners about like some of the different resources we use. So if somebody does hear something like that, I mean, I hope that people would feel comfortable to use the Gainz podcast as a resource. They DM us on Instagram, on TikTok, they send us a comment on a YouTube video. If they know us personally, that they send us a text, give us a call, whatever. But other than the Gainz podcast, where would you point listeners to get some trustworthy information?
I did do a post on this recently, Roman, if you would know, but I showed the viewers on our Instagram and TikTok how I would do research on, like, let's say supplements. I go to examine.com, and if you guys haven't seen that, I did a quick reel, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and I did a quick search on creatine, because creatine is, obviously a steroid, and people don't believe in half of it, and you can't cut weight. You can't cut weight on creatine. But anyways, besides all that goofy stuff I'm talking about, but I put out a video, and pretty much it'll go over like the suggested use, what it's used for, what studies showed what, and it shows you the links to those studies that were done on like the, let's just say, supplement. So that's like a good